My name is Alex. I'm 29 in Texas, and this is when I was working at a gas station. I generally worked the overnight shift at the gas station. It was on the outskirts of town. I really liked the location because, no one was ever there. I rarely had visitors on my shift. It was quiet, isolated, and most nights the only sounds were the hum of the lights and the occasional car passing by. However, this night, the weather was horrible. Rain pounded on the roof while the neon sign outside flickered. After an hour of being on the shift, that's when I decided to shut off the cameras. That way I could close the lights and close the store. It's not like we were actually closing. We were 24/7, but I wanted to sleep, and there was no way my boss was going to check on me on a night like tonight. I decided to shut the lights off and fall asleep in a chair next to a cash register. Around 2 a.m., I was woken up, probably from trying to sleep in a chair, and I decided just to start restocking. I only turned on the back lights and left the close sign on. It's not like I wanted customers thinking that we were open and have people in there that I had to deal with. That's when I started to notice there was a car parked with its headlights off. I really didn't care because it's pretty common for people to be driving too long and get tired and then end up just staying in the gas station overnight. It happens quite a bit. My boss says never to allow it, but I didn't really care, and I wasn't about to wake somebody up. I assumed nothing was wrong. That's until I saw a large man exit the passenger side of the car with a shovel, and he went to the back of the vehicle. I closely got further to the front of the store, that way they couldn't see me, and that's when I saw him hit something in the back of the car with a shovel. I couldn't make out what it was or what exactly he was doing with the rain, but that's when I saw a large SUV pull into the lot. No lights, they just pulled up next to the car, and a well-dressed man exited the SUV. They pulled next to the car, and this really well-dressed man exited the SUV. He had a suit on and looked expensive. He walked over to the back of the car, and that's when I watched him pull somebody out by their hair. After what looked like yelling at them, he placed them face down in the rain in between the two cars, while the man with the suit leaned down. He must have whispered something to him with how close he was to the back of the head. That's when I saw him pull out his knife, and he started cutting off the man's ear. I had to call someone. I absolutely freaked out, but by the time the police get here, it'll be far too late. I grabbed my phone and took a picture, and before I could even stop it, the flash went off. I saw the man in the suit look directly up at me through my lens of my camera. Two large men started to approach the store, but the man in the suit called them off. Then he alone started to walk into the store. I knew there was nowhere to go and nowhere to hide in the store, so I decided that my best bet was to act like I didn't see anything and I was opening the store. So I turned the lights on and turned the open sign on, and my best hope was just playing dumb.
Good morning, son. How are you doing on this wet day?
Good, sir. What can I help you with?
I need $20 on pump 2, please.
Right away. That should do you. Do you want your receipt?
Now what good does that do anyone? It's not like you can really get your time back. Might be able to get your money back, but time's a real asset now, isn't it?
I guess so. That makes sense.
See, the only thing you can really do when you run or return something is to send it back. Isn't that right?
I won't tell anyone. You can have my phone. I won't tell anyone.
But I do want to return something. I want to return the exact moment when you saw me cut his ear off and you took a picture like the idiot you are.
I won't tell anyone, sir. I promise.
So you want God to send you back then? Because two people can send you back right now. It's either me or God. And it seems like you want God. What, you want to die when you're old and gray? Are you sure though? I'm a lot closer than God is on this cold night.
I promise I won't tell anyone.
Oh, and one more thing. When you die, God may send you to hell. But if I find out you told someone about this, I'll make you wish you were in hell. Have a great night.
After they pulled away, I locked the doors, called my manager, and quit on the spot. I drove off, thinking about what exactly I just saw and how lucky I am to be alive. My name is Jessica. I'm 26 from Atlanta, Georgia. I work the night shift, convenience store, in a rough neighborhood. Normally there's always someone scheduled with me, but tonight, once again, my coworker was a no-call, no-show. I did complain to the owner about it, however he rarely ever did anything. It's not like it really mattered though. The entire night was very slow, and I was already half asleep when I got my first customer. He was a middle-aged man, walked in wearing a coat and a baseball cap over his eyes. He didn't greet me. He just headed straight for the restroom and disappeared inside. I assumed he would finish up and leave, but I never heard him come out. For the first 15 minutes, I was a little hesitant about the whole situation. As it came on to 25 minutes, I started contemplating, what exactly do I do? However, I was soon distracted. A bunch of clients suddenly showed up at once. There must have been 6 or 7 people in the gas station, all grabbing food and going in and out of the bathroom. So I figured that with multiple people around, if he was planning anything, he wouldn't do it. Throughout all the commotion, I couldn't tell if he left or not. Once I finished with the clients, I started to have this unsettling feeling creep over me, like he was still in the bathroom. I decided to check the security camera history to see if he left while I was working, and it did look like he left. Suddenly, I was relieved. There was no sign of him. Eventually, it was the end of my shift, and since I was the closing shift, it was time to close the whole store. I shut off the lights in the front area and locked the door, and I normally have to exit through the back because the front door doesn't lock with a key. As I shut the lights off and walked towards the back, that's when I started to hear an odd whisper. It was coming from the men's restroom. I was confused at first. I knew I saw him leave, however, I still heard something there. I decided to turn back the long lights and unlock the front door in case it was another client. I quietly walked up to the door and knocked on it. only heard weird whispers. I couldn't even make out what it was. Perhaps somebody was watching a video? Either way, it was time to end the shift. I knocked on the door once. I ran to my vehicle. I sped off without looking back. Even now, that voice still haunts me. I truly wonder what was actually in the bathroom.